Hey, what is going on, my people? This is your boy Bernard Scott, the Killer Crane himself. It is October the 4th, 2024 to him. Today, I'm joined by this gentleman here, the man with the plan. He is known as the L Dog, Lamar Hicks. What's going on, brother?
Man, what's happening, man? What's going on, brother?
I'm just trying to make at least 10% of your income. I ain't gonna never make it, but I'm gonna try.
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. No. I tell you what. Money. No. Not at all. Don't believe the hype. Ooh, don't believe the hype.
Ooh. Back when rap was good, huh? Hey, no, I'm speaking of future affirmations. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's coming. Just one quick question. I see you got your Pigeon Forward shirt on. Did you enjoy your trip there?
Man, Pigeon Forward, man, was great, man. Because it's right by Gatlinburg. Yeah.
Which one was the Dolly Parton? What Dolly Parton theme place?
Hold on. Dolly. That's actually Pigeon Forward. Yeah.
Okay, it's Pigeon Forward.
Yeah. It's because they got the I'm looking it up right now. They got the Dolly Splash County Dollywood. It's actually temporarily closed right now, but it does say something about Gatlinburg too.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking for a vacation spot. He really enjoyed. Him and his wife really enjoyed it. So,
man, look, if there are any like wine drinkers in the house, oh my gosh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Give me a second. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop my camera. Hold on.
We're waiting on him to come back. My drink of choice. I'm not sponsored by Arizona Green Tea. Really wish I would. Wish I was. I'm sorry. But I love this damn drink. They still got this drink for around $1. It's been $1 for the longest. They're keeping it at $1 despite the inflation. I'm sorry. Can't get small words out. I love this damn shit. It's all natural. Ginseng, honey. Waiting for the L Dog to come back.
All right, so I can't remember if we got this from Pigeon Forward or not, but yeah.
Okay. That looks delicious.
Man, yeah, and you know what? I haven't tasted it yet, though.
Save it for that special day that's coming this month. It's not my
day. Man, look, man. The one thing about wine is that you have to, like Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, man. That's the place like you really want to go and get, good wine. So, yeah.
Excellent. Now, we're going to move on to the podcast. I do want to apologize. I haven't decorated my room yet. We just moved into a new apartment. So,
congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Well, moved in. Today, I'm sporting my No Set Reason, my Indiana Jones hat. Big nerd. Everybody knows me. Big George Lucas fan. Harrison Ford fan. So, got that little joint on today. So we always start off with shout outs and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I always got to give a shout out or, let people know about different people who have passed on. It's James Earl Jones, and we were speaking about George Lucas, and everybody knows him as Darth Vader. I forgot to put his picture up here. Actually, it didn't load, but everybody knows who James Earl Jones is, what he looks like.
Hold on, I think I got you. I think I got you. Go ahead. Keep
Yes, sir.
talking.
Go ahead. If you can, post it up there. Yeah, Coming to America. Star Wars, of course, Darth Vader. One of my favorite martial art movies of all times, which is right over here. If you have not checked this out and you're a martial arts fan, please watch this movie. The best of the best. I know I got a glare on here.
Oh snap! Oh snap! That movie is the bomb, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has James Earl Jones in it. He's the coach. Man, it has a great soundtrack. I still listen to that soundtrack as I exercise and I'm on the treadmill and stuff like that. Let's see.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you so much, sir. Man, the late great James Earl Jones. I think he was around 90 when he passed away. My condolences to his family, friends, and fans. I'm one of his biggest fans. I even remember he was on an episode of The Big Bang Theory where he was hanging out with Sheldon. He was like, let me guess, you like Star Wars. I do too. And he was messing around with Carrie Fisher, man, knocking on her door and running. It was just great. Mississippi native. He's from Alka Butler, Mississippi. So
okay.
Yes, sir.
I got keep talking. I got something to share, man.
Okay. Absolutely big fan of James Earl Jones. Had Voice of Thunder, and who was it else that passed away? Well, I'll get to that later. But you had something to share about James Earl Jones?
No, it's not. Okay, so for those of you that really know me, you guys know that Coming to America is my favorite movie of all freaking time. So I really, yeah. That version, no. That one, no. Part 2, no. I did not like to at all. But here's a clip of this movie that I really never recognized until now. And the crazy thing about it, I want you to watch James Earl Jones. I want you to watch how he reacts. Okay. So here we go.
No way. Very well then, 2 million. You haven't got enough money to buy my daughter off. Nonsense.
Joffrey, apologize to Mr. McDowell.
I will do no such thing. The man is beneath me, and so is his daughter.
I don't give a damn who you are. This is America, Jack. Now you say one more word about Lisa here, and I'm gonna break my foot off in your royal ass.
Pardon me?
That's not the part.
Your son, the prince, is in love with your sister, but the king here, he can't handle it.
No, he's not. The prince is in love with me.
I had a crush on her.
Are you all right?
Yes, Mother, I am fine.
Why are you hugging him? He's just the servant. He's the prince.
Who told you that?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Classic.
Who told you that?
Look, I watched this movie 100 times, but that part right there hit harder than any part, man. I'm like, he turned around seriously. Who told you that?
man, just absolutely phenomenal acting, by him and the rest of the crew. They all work together. Oh my god. Even John Amos, like, I put my foot up your raw ass.
You know what? He took it back. He took it back to the good times on that line right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Back.
So, Yes. Speaking of which, John Amos has passed away. I'm not sure. I forgot how old he was. I should have put it in.
He was 80. I want to say 89. Hold on. Let me do the math right quick. Hold on, just a second.
Okay. While we're doing this, of course, Good Times. Everybody remembers him as the father of Good Times. To me, he was the greatest TV dad that was on there. My favorite episode is where he whooped that boy that was messing with Michael, and then he gave him what was that JJ called the Big Mac, and he whooped his ass good, huh?
Yeah. You know what? That's one of my favorite episodes. Yeah, he was 85.
85. Thank you very much, man. And the people were saying that he died in like August, and we just not knowing about it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the things. Well, we're gonna carry this over to tomorrow. That's one of the things that that's really been in question. But I got the kind of like the inside of why things were done the way how they were done, and like I said, I'll discuss that tomorrow.
Okay. And tomorrow, Flavor in Your podcast. What time?
I'm going to schedule it for 10 o'clock Central.
Okay.
And so that will be 11 a.m. your time, Atlanta time.
That's perfect for me. Give me time to sleep in. I get up at 7 a.m. anyway. I'm just conditioned like that. So, Flavor in Your podcast tomorrow for the people in the Atlanta metro area. 11 a.m., 10 a.m. in the Mississippi, Chicago time period, Central Time.
Right.
All right. Thank you very much for that, sir. We have one more death. It's not, I consider him a celebrity. He was so great to so many people in my hometown of Clarksdale, Mississippi. The late, great master Leroy Curtis. Today is his birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, he died in 2020. But today is his birthday, and I just got to say, a lot of people say happy heavenly birthday. That's fine. He was a great martial artist. He was an Army veteran, a great family friend. I would like to have a podcast one day just talking about him and how in his martial art class, he used to, it was back in the 80s and the 90s. He used to call us all head. Hey, you need to quit playing around head. And he give us the hamburger and clunk up upside the head to make us pay attention.
Wow.
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful in that class. So many memories. My condolences again. I know it's been since 2020. My condolences to to his family, friends, fans. Me being one of his biggest friends. Me being one of his biggest fans. So, on the lighter side note of it, the 13th of this month in October is National Vanara Scott Day.
All right.
Celebrating. I love this 1980s picture of me. I haven't changed one bit, just to let y'all know. That's my recent picture. So, the 13th of this month, I'm not going to do the, some people put Cash App or whatever. But, the thing about it is a happy birthday is just fine. If you want to get me something like to win the numbers to the lottery, I would appreciate that if you're a fortune teller. That's all right. Let me see if somebody's commenting. Okay. Nope, nobody's commenting yet. I thought it was a comment. Let me get back here. Okay. All right. Anyway, if you guys want to join, the link is in the description above this, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. I'm working on putting it on Instagram. It's just not on my to-do list yet, but just let me know, and then I'll kick it up a little notch. But let's get to the subject matter today. All right. That's some feedback. Excuse me. Anyway, we're going to talk about androids and AI today. Could we one day give them the same rights as human? will they one day take us over? So the question I have to for you, Lamar, is how do we use or how do you use AI in your everyday life? This is how we're going to start it off. Could you do without it? And do you wish for it to be improved upon?
Yeah, I do use it. I'm actually going to start using it actually more.
In which way?
In graphic design, and well, yeah, more so in graphic design, because it kind of takes away the headache of sitting at you looking at a blank canvas and trying to wonder, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And so I'm a big proponent of using chat GPT, and helping you, with your resume, getting different ideas. Like I said, I mean, it's not the fact that we as individuals are not using our brain. It's just the fact that, like right now, time is of the essence, and so we want to get things done quickly. I mean, hell, I mean, we use the microwave, don't we?
That's a good point.
You know, we want things done, quickly, efficiently. Now, I'm not saying that the AI tool that I use is perfect, but excuse me, I've actually come up with quite a few designs using AI, and I want to try to share them for a minute.
Okay. Sure.
If possible. Okay. So let me share my screen right quick.
Okay.
So this is actually AI generated right here.
Okay. That looks nice.
Yeah. So what I did was I put in the prompt of what I wanted, and it came out with this. So, it was just something quick. I needed to do, and then I was able actually to do this too as well.
Very nice.
Yeah. So as you see, the birds, everybody, more likely everybody's graduating in May. That's the purpose of the hat. It's bright, it's colorful, the flowers. So that was all that was AI generated. So that's the reason why, like I said, I never could have done that if I didn't, put in the prompt. And so what I mean, and let me go a little bit deeper when I say what I mean by putting in the prompt. It's just like you and I holding the conversation right now. You come to me and say, hey, I need a flyer that needs this and this and this and this. And I put it in and it gives me what you asked for. So with all that being said, guess who's satisfied? You're satisfied.
Okay.
So, you know, that's my whole spiel on that.
Okay. So you mostly use it for graphic design in your business. What are some other ways that you use AI that you think other people might use it? Like one thing that I was thinking about, very simple, is like spell check, on your phone, on your computer. That's, a very low, everyday use of it, but it's still AI, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. So what you have to do is you can ask, like I said, I use Chat GPT. There's other avenues that you can use. And like I said, I give you the perfect example. And I wish I can show you on Facebook, but they only allow you to do it on your phone. Hold on, let me type something.
Okay. You mean Chat GPT?
No, no, I can actually go there, but I was going to show you that AI is actually used in Facebook to make your
Oh,
post
yes.
theme elegant. So I can go to. So let me share my screen again.
Oh, yeah. That what do they call it? The metaverse. It's something else
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So I'm using the free version of this, and I'm highlighting it so everybody can. Know you can't see the website, by the way, but this is what it is right here. And so it's chatgpt.com. I'm gonna go to. I'm actually going to go to that post that I used to create. You remember that post I showed you in April that
Right.
I used? All
I
right.
remember it.
So I'm gonna go all the way up to the top, and I said, describe the month of April, and then it came back and said, April is a burst of energy after the hush of winter, and so April showers bring May flowers, as you saw in April. It had the flowers, had the bright sunny days, um, and so you know that's what you like. I said, create a cover photo for Facebook for the month of June. It gave me the ray of sunshine, bright, clear sky, natural elements. So it gave me all of this. It gave me all of this. If I wanted to, and so I actually used it in rewriting my resume. So I went to the very top. I said, "Can you rewrite this resume?" And so I'm just gonna go by it real fast because that's my wife's resume. But it gave me all of this.
Okay.
So that's where Chat GPT, the AI can most definitely help you. Like I said, at the end of the day, you're saving time. You're not staring at a blank canvas all night trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what am I going to.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it has a lot of advantages. I guess like for a lot of people, their concerns with it when it's like taken too far. Like you mentioned graphic design, but you have things like, do you know what deep fakes are?
I think I do.
Yeah, like
Elaborate.
yeah. So basically, the most simplistic way I can explain it is when AI generates certain images or videos, and it looks exactly the same and sounds exactly the same, like as a real person, such as like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these images that the computer creates, you may think that this is just a grainy video, and it's scary because it looks so realistic. So people will think that, people can use this as evidence against another person in real life. And of course, on the internet, people don't research anything. And it's getting even harder nowadays with videos and pictures that you can fake like this. And that's why a lot of people don't, it was hard when, you just had regular AI and video editing software, and you can make like UFOs. Now we don't know if it's a real UFO or not. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, and I totally understand. People's concern about that. As far as like, fake videos and everything. It kind of remind me of the days. You remember when you were you were going out. You were it's just like what you talked about in the podcast months ago. It's almost like getting catfished,
right.
So to speak. But in the case, I think that you were presenting, it was a dating service. I can't remember the name of the dating service. It was a long time ago. And what happened was, they had like AI images, and men thought that they were real, but they were not real. And so the company had men spending all their money, just like you going to the casino and you gambling, in it all. And so
that was OnlyFans.
No, it wasn't OnlyFans. No,
it wasn't.
It was no. This was before OnlyFans. No, it had nothing to. It was like these being like I don't know. They were like so entranced by these make-believe type women that they just and then what they had like a woman, and they were like doing voiceovers for this woman. But the only thing they wanted them to do was, and you talking about androids and AI. That's pretty much where I'm going with this. They had like a woman, like how like you go on these dating sites and you be strolling until you find like you like, oh snap, this one looks good, and then you keep strolling, oh this one looks good too, and then you get to the point where like, well, can I call you? And so then they don't ever meet the person. They're just talking to them, but the image is AI generated, but a woman's voice is the real voice. But the main thing they were trying to do was get guys to spend money, and they did. And so later on, it kind of got them in trouble, with their wives and their girlfriends, because they're spending all this money, on someone that hell they haven't even met yet.
Correct. Right.
And so that's where the AI gets a little tricky. You gotta know, like there were pictures, and not get to the political stuff. Like when the stuff came out about Trump and getting arrested, they had AI pictures on Twitter, now known as X, and so those pictures looked very real, and come to find out they weren't real. So yeah, I mean, but it's almost like it was like back in the day. There's a possibility you're gonna get catfished.
Very much so. Very much so. And the language is getting very realistic. You still have to ask certain questions. Did you hear about the AI generated program? You guys will know what I'm talking about here, where there was a part where you had to verify like which picture is a picture of a motorcycle or whatever, and you have to click that in order to verify you're
Yeah,
not a robot.
yeah.
So this AI generated program got so smart.
And I hate that crap. I
Yeah,
hate that crap.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's just like the worst of the worst. I mean, if they have like a and here's the other part too. They'll have the picture where it's a full motorcycle and you got to click on the part, and I'm like,
Uh-huh. Right. It just like that one where it says what letters are up here, and there'll be like a bunch of squiggly stuff, and you be like, I
yeah,
can't tell what letter that is. You know what I'm saying? But the AI program couldn't distinguish which one was a motorcycle, whatever. So it got smart enough to send a message to somebody else to pay them on Fiverr or whatever, and say, hey, can you tell me which ones is a motorcycle? And I'll pay you for this. And then the guy was like, is this an AI program asking me to do this? And it didn't answer back. So it was smart enough to outsource the job that it couldn't do to a human being. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's getting scary. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
let me get more philosophical. AI stands for artificial intelligence. How do you personally define intelligence?
With being smart, with using, I want to say with being smart, and putting in the work and knowing what you need to know. I can sit up here and say that regardless of how you feel about him, the late great Kobe Bryant was very intelligent. He studied the game. He studied other people, and that means that you're gaining knowledge, and you're gaining knowledge, and you're gaining understanding. What we always hear the phrase, "Oh, well, he's the most intelligent person in the room." Well, it's because this person may know things in this area, but he or she may not know things in this area. That doesn't make that person less intelligent, but it's the fact that once you get educated and you understand, that's and you being able to put it together, then that's the intelligence part about it. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's about learning, it's about understanding. Intelligence is also the fact that you're not jumping ahead. And what I mean by, like, you don't think that you know it all.
Okay.
You sit under Intelligence is sitting under someone who has more knowledge than you and learning from that person, and maybe taking what you have learned to the next level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. So let's get a little bit deeper, much, much deeper. All right. So if let's just say we're having a debate on if a planet that we just discovered has intelligent life, and it follows this entity that we find follows the characteristics of like a virus. You know what I'm saying? So a virus can replicate itself, and the way that it works here on Earth, a virus attacks like white blood cells, implants its replication DNA, and it makes copies of itself that way. And it affects the human. So if a being on like another planet follows the same criteria of a virus, would you consider that an intelligent being, so to speak?
See, now you getting into like, see. Now I know where you're going with this. See, you've been watching too much Star Trek.
Of course, that's a given.
You've been watching too much Star Trek.
Yeah.
I would no. You know what? I'm gonna go one better. See, you watch Star Trek, but I'm gonna see if I'm gonna question you, and I'm gonna go out on a limb. I could be wrong. You're probably gonna say no. You probably heard of him, but I don't know if you ever watched the show before. You ever watched the show Doctor Who?
You know, that's on my to-do list. But no, I have not seen, even though I'm a super nerd, I have not seen one episode of Doctor Who.
See, hold on. I'm gonna pull up the one that you need to watch. The guy, come on. I see a picture of him, but I want to see a picture of him by himself. Gosh, what is his name? Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay. And I'm glad you mentioned Star Trek because one of the things, the episodes of Star Trek, The Next Generation, which kind of inspired me to do this one, but it was an independent thing. But the episode Measure of a Man, where you have Lieutenant Data, who is a very intelligent, what people consider android, and they're trying to decide whether he should be considered property of the Starfleet or he's his own individual entity. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead though. I'll get into more description of that.
I'm going to pull up the theme, and it's going to his name. Oh my gosh. Damn it, come on. Okay. Let me share my screen. You know what? Every time I hear this, it still kind of give me chills a little bit. But I was a kid. I watched the show, man. I really did love the show. All right. Oh wait, you can't hear it. Oh man, why is it doing that? Hold on.
Not only does Kittle have millions of design assets and templates that you can customize any way you want, but our intuitive
guy right here, this guy, I bet, and I don't know why it's not. You know what? Hold on. I know what I need to do. I need to take some stuff away, and hopefully, it's not moving. Crap. But yeah, you're getting into, and so Doctor Who actually discovered it was an episode where he actually did discover some stuff that was like on another planet, or something.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear it a little bit, but man, I want you to get the full Tom Baker. That's his name. Tom freaking Baker. That dude is like, hold up. Let me stop sharing. Still do what it's doing. Man.
Yeah, sometimes the internet, depending on how many people you have in your area and how much it's
Okay. Here we go. Golly. I'm like, why is it not playing?
That could be a number of reasons.
Okay. That music, man. You got to watch it. You're gonna thank me later, okay? You're gonna most definitely thank me later. So to get to your question that you asked me, you know what? That's something I never really think about. Beings actually being on, you know, on different planets and all that type of stuff.
Right.
I mean, do we need to? My question is, do we need to discover that? Do we need to go there? Because we got so much stuff going on here. We ain't got to worry about nobody else. But the reason,
you know, well, even the fact that, like, let's just say here on Earth, like I mentioned, viruses. A lot of people go back and forth on whether a virus is quote unquote alive. And the definition of a living being is redefined and has different classifications. You know, some say that, of course, it has to interact with its external environment. It has to have, some people say it has to have mobility. Some say it has to create an equilibrium. There's different definitions of like a living thing, which brings up.
what about COVID?
Huh?
What about COVID?
Yeah,
COVID
a virus. Right.
COVID was yeah.
So
well, not is.
What you would say that that's a living thing in your definition?
I mean, shoot, man. I mean, to be honest, it traveled. I mean, it traveled from person to person to person to person, and I mean, obviously, it was because people died.
Yeah, it definitely had to have a host in order to do its business. You know, it can't survive on its own.
Yeah.
Which brings up my next question, you know, like consciousness. How do you know that something is conscious? Even certain people even debate whether we're conscious or not. You know, how can I prove to somebody else that I'm conscious? Which I'm not going to get into the other philosophical discussions of like, what is the name of it? Where hard solipsism. I'm not going to get into all of that. That's just too deep. That's another podcast altogether. But just the idea of if you find something else, how do you know if it's conscious? And the reason why I'm getting to that is that most people automatically see biological beings as something that's considered alive. You know what I'm saying? So if it's like a virus, well, a lot of people don't consider viruses alive either, you know, or bacteria. But if there's an insect, they would consider that, you know, alive and conscious. But I guess my point is, what if we get to the point like with this robot, Android? Sorry, there's a difference between robot and Android. This is an Android. She's clearly aware of her surroundings. She can interact. She can answer questions. She has what perceives to be feelings. I'm not sure if, you know, they even say to a certain point, there might be some aspect of quote unquote pain that's going on, because if you do certain things to her, she can sense that something is not right. And there's a certain level of discomfort, so to speak. So I guess I know I'm kind of skipping to the end here. to what level would you ever consider in any way this a very intelligent masterpiece of technology? Would you ever consider it alive or conscious? Well, conscious. Let's just start there.
No, I wouldn't even deal with it. I wouldn't even deal with that. So I looked up the word, and it says the inner feeling or voice viewed as acting as a guide to the rightness or wrongness of one's behavior. So the thing about it is that we even with let's go back. Let's go all the way back.
Okay.
Let's use the Jetsons for the example.
Okay, good idea.
If you recall the robot maid that they had, that robot actually felt things that were wrong. There were episodes of the Jetsons where it felt that something was wrong with Elroy, something was wrong with the family, or and the robot had feelings. And to get back on the AI subject, Apple is actually moving to that realm. Android phones have something too. On my phone, I don't have my phone on me. So robots, we ask Google. Like I can go to Google right now. They have a microphone on Google, and you can ask Google a question, and Google will answer that question for you in the best way possible. Back to what you just showed me, I wouldn't even want that in my house, man, because what happened is oh my gosh, it was a movie where someone put something in a machine, and they downloaded good thoughts and they downloaded evil thoughts, and they downloaded thoughts that can actually put you in a position where you can get to the point where you can create a machine and a robot that can take out oh my gosh, what was this Sylvester Stallone movie?
Which one is it?
That he was a robot. I mean, it was a robot.
I know the Terminator was on a Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, okay. The Terminator. Yeah, that's another example where the Terminator could just be violent,
right?
And to be honest, you don't want that. At a drop of a dime, or better yet, you say something wrong to the robot, and the robot get the feelings, or you have friends, you're friends with the robot, and then you start dating a woman, and then the robot gets jealous, and shoot, man, no, I wouldn't even want them things in my house. No, you can have that.
So do you consider like the possibility that androids could be intelligent enough to where they could actually form what we consider feelings, or emotions, true
They'll
emotions.
create them like that.
Okay.
You know, some people will create because they want the real deal. They don't want uh as you posted about a couple weeks ago, they don't want Timu, they want Amazon. That's what they want. And so they're gonna create the best of the best. So at times, like I said, you know, and things get out of hand. You know, you don't want to. You want to deal with people. You don't want to deal with robots.
Mm-hmm. Now, to be fair, too, there are human beings who, some of them, and I forgot which philosopher said this. It said, in order for negotiations to work, both people must have a conscience. And certain people don't have a conscience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure that there was no debating with people like Hitler, or there's some other serial killers and other people who are just totally invested. Their brain chemistry is not working right. And sometimes it's not them like putting themselves above others. Their brain chemistry is just all out of whack. You know, there's a lot of, I've read a meme too, and it said something like, some people aren't responding, you're not using their intelligence. They're speaking from trauma, past trauma that they've went through. So, and that's what I wanted to get to. You know, I had a discussion over why women would say that they would rather deal with the bear than to deal with any man. And I didn't get any feedback on that, but you know, that's a great example of some people would say that. So even with women, you know, that some people they respond to their past trauma rather than their intelligence. So it could
I
have been.
think
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. I think what happens is that people use the with the bear and the man. But I'm gonna go back to the Hitler point that you made. I think a lot of times people they get too intelligent and then they get drunk with power.
Okay.
And so once they get drunk with power, then they lose their righteousness and they start doing the wrong behavior. It's I mean, we've seen it through the course of time where, you know, the first thing people will say about the thing they'll say about people, oh, this person was so smart back in the day. What happened? Well, they got drunk with power. They got drunk with power. They start viewing things as well, let's bring it home. I said let's go back earlier. Let's bring it home. P. Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
P. Diddy is the perfect example of someone who was very, very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that people told him how good you are, how intelligent you are, and that went straight to his head. And so at that point, he felt unstoppable. He felt like he can do anything. And that's just like unfortunately, with a robot. A robot is made to be intelligent. Is made to consider you know, right and wrong. But after a while, you know, those humanistic thoughts get all in the way, and then it becomes that wrongness of behavior. So, I mean, to be honest, are we different? Are we no different than robots? Well, the only thing about it is that, we were born with a brain. We were born with a brain. A robot has to have a brain inserted and images to correlate to become intelligent.
Okay. Huh. So, let me see. Oh, there was a point I was going to make.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. It just escaped me right quick. This is this old brain of mine, I guess. Well, here's the thing. There's an old saying that it might be new. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. So we may see it as, and it's true. Some people do get drunk with power, but certain I guess leaders would see their cause as the most important cause. And the only way that they can do it, they have to gain more followers, they have to gain more power in order to like take over the world or make a difference in this world. And we've seen this with like cult leaders who we don't exactly know their intention, but some of them have intentions to where they think that they're fighting for a good cause, or they actually believe what they do. You know what I'm saying? They might be ill, they might have a different philosophy than us, but I guess this gets into another ethics discussion. What's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what's moral, what's immoral. But that's a great point you brought up, though. And with a robot, I'm sorry, Android. I got to correct myself. Like I said, a robot is more mechanical and Android is more intelligent. So with an Android, it may be computing, like saying, well, this is the ultimate goal. You know what I'm saying? And we see humans as really infecting the world and destroying the ozone layer and all that. So in order to protect the earth, which everybody stays on, we might have to limit the number of humans this way or that way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It could be your way though. This is an interesting subject. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think that, a lot of times we just don't as far as like the AI part of it, that part is to me, that's fine. But like I said, when we get to the point where we are, and I've said this before, we are living in the world of the Jetsons, like right now.
Yep.
Like with the cars and with the Teslas and everything. Like it was that movie. How in the world are you going to allow a Tesla, a car, to drive you?
Yep. Yeah.
That's a machine. That car is driving you, and so you have to if you get, because they have fixed it where for people at times, people like myself, who can't, and my wife, who's a pro, can bag in, your car in a tight spot.
Parallel park, right?
Parallel, yeah. Or just, and just put, or better yet, just put the car in reverse and just bag in. A lot of people, can't do it, and so and then like what you just said with parallel parking. So again, that's a machine. That's something that's embedded into the car.
Right.
So hold on a minute, okay?
Okay. We're going to let him do what he has to do right quick. Yeah. If you guys want to join, the link is in the discussion. This is a really good philosophical discussion. It's coming, guys. AI is going to get more and more intelligent. Okay.
Yeah. Look. I'm gonna have to break away. I'm gonna have to break away. From this discussion, but I want to leave you with this though.
Okay.
When when we rely on our phones, like I said, we rely on Google. Google to access, to like I said, I rely on ChatGPT for my designs and stuff like that. But like I said, the main thing I want to do is that I want to save time. I want to get it efficient. Because a lot of times, you may not get it, but you want to cut time. And as far as Walmart, because I've seen and I know you've seen it too, like with robots at McDonald's, or they're talking about the robot gonna be in the kitchen and flipping the burgers and this, that, and then the third. I mean, do you really want that?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Do you really want that?
Yeah,
So,
right.
so you gotta kind of ask yourself. But look, like I said, man, I gotta go.
Okay. Once again, Flavor in Your Podcast. When is it?
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern time, man. We're gonna have a little fun. Gonna have a little fun tomorrow. So
If somebody wants to join, how do they join?
man, look, they're gonna have to either get through you or through Facebook. But man, it's gonna be a fun time tomorrow. So
Okay.
but yeah, like I said, man, I gotta go, man. Little man, thank you, man. And man, you have a great night.
All right, you too, brother. Take it easy.
All right. All right.
All right. All right. Whew, thank you, L-Dog Lamar Hicks, for his participation in this. This is a great discussion. He brought up the thing about certain robots and androids doing things for us. And he brought up the Tesla and the rest of these cars. I had a neighbor of mine, he was talking about how he hated one of the cars that he bought and he had to trade it back in because certain cars will break automatically without him intervening at all. And here's the thing: if you have a certain choice, so let's just say if there's an 18-wheeler behind you and you're driving and another car, let's just say it's a truck and it has a cardboard box that fell off of it. Now, a human would know you got a car behind you. It can sense an 18-wheeler truck behind you and there's a cardboard box. Human intellect would tell you, run over the cardboard box because you don't want to deal with the 18-wheeler. You're going to die. More than likely. So it has not gotten to the point. I'm not saying that it won't, but AI has not gotten to the point to where it can make decisions like that for us. I mean, it's still kind of robotic in a way, but it's still very much in its infancy. But what if it gets to the point? That's why I brought up that Star Trek episode. And guys, Star Trek brings up so many philosophical discussions. It's just great. So what if it gets to the point where the androids are like data? And like I said, we are getting to that point right now. I believe this android is in Iran right now. And she answers questions and she acts like she has feelings. But the question is, does she really have feelings? Or is she just imitating what people would say? Like you can program an AI once you say, hey, I think you're ugly. And it automatically knows that the word ugly is a derogatory word. So, and it will give certain facial expressions. It'll do his eyes like this and get a little bit more tense and say, hey, I find that offensive. Is it because, it actually hurt, it actually has feelings? And you know what I'm saying? Or is it because it's just giving a facade or facsimile of having those emotions and just going through the imitation of what a human does when it hears the word ugly. You know what I'm saying? So that's the question I want to bring up. You know what I'm saying? And when would you consider the that being to be independent enough to where you would give it rights as an independent being? I often thought about this. Maybe, possibly, when it can show that it can learn on its own and it wants to explore on its own. I guess, you know what I'm saying? And it's getting to that point, you know what I'm saying, like that Android, or just a very, how can I say, a very simplistic example of this. You guys have probably been to Walmart and seen that little robot. I would call this a robot. I'm not sure if I call it an Android. That little robot that goes around sweeping the floors, and they'll stop once it hits you, but it can sense whether the floor is dirty, or your Roomba that you use that goes around and sweeps your floors and stuff like that. I mean, the stuff is coming, guys, and it's going to get more and more intelligent, probably on its own. It's getting to the point to where AI is going to say, you know, you humans are giving us upgrades, but I think the best upgrade is this. And the humans are going to be like, well, it's going to take us extra work, which is going to cost us extra money in order for us to do these upgrades. So I'm going to program you to do your own upgrades. I'm going to give you your own independence to upgrade yourself. And once you do those upgrades, I'm going to watch you. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get more and more intelligent on its own. You know what I'm saying? So, and what it considers to be the best avenue. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's getting there, guys. You know what I'm saying? And there's going to have to be new laws on ethics and morality when it comes to these AI robots. I mean, to me, a lot of the discussion about their rights kind of, I mean, you could bring it to humans as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And it's going to get to the point to where it feels anything new is going to feel kind of uncomfortable to us at first. But once we get used to it, a lot of people were joking about this, but I'm sure they might be real. Even in the dating world, we're talking about that. To where these androids are getting more and more intelligent, and you can have somebody create your perfect male or female, and you can have them do these expressions. And there are certain, I would say, toys, sexual toys that they have right now, which is getting closer and closer to mimicking human skin. And there are ways that you can warm this as well. And so a lot of people find it very stimulating. You know, the women talk about it all the time. They're very open, from what I've heard, about the rose, the rose toy. And they say, who was that said? It was the rapper. Very beautiful young lady. Glorilla. She was talking about how the rose was very addictive to her. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women are talking about how they're celibate all these years. This is another Facebook discussion. If you guys want to discuss this, the singer Maya came out and said that she was celibate for like so many years. So my question is, you know, does that include like toys and masturbation and stuff like that? Does that mean no orgasms whatsoever, no sex whatsoever, and no sexual thoughts whatsoever? So that's a question that I have. But being a little bit off the subject, I know a lot of people do want actual human females, but of course, anybody who's been in the dating scene nowadays will tell you that it's getting more and more complicated, you know, and the men are blaming the women are blaming the men. Both of them probably have some good points to a certain point, and women are requiring more, and the men are like, you know, come on now, you know, that's just ridiculous. And it's a good, I mean, everybody has their good points, and the women are saying, well, I need to have more self-worth. You know what I'm saying? I'm worth more than just, you know, this or this or that or that. But this is a whole nother discussion. Um, so it may leave certain men to the point to where they're saying, you know, these AI robots, I mean, you've created a material that feels just like human skin. It can warm just like human skin. You can give expressions and movements and the fluidity. You know, everybody thinks that these AI robots are going to be robotic like this and only move, but there are some animatronics that are even in the Disney world that look very fluid with their movements, very flexible. You know what I'm saying? And very, they can move kind of fast, you know what I'm saying? And give these twitch motions. So, I mean, might get to the point where people are using these AIs instead of, I mean, there are some sex dolls that people use. I don't know why I'm on this subject. Let me get off this subject, but it just goes along with it. You know what I'm saying? So, like for companionships, you might like the AI robot better than, you know, an actual human being, which is very complicated and has complex emotions and memories and things of that nature. Um, and of course, AI is going to be used to make our life better. And this is another discussion. I know I'm speaking about Star Trek again, but there has been books that have been written, discussions left and right. Oh, why in the Star Trek universe things are absolutely free. There's no money whatsoever. Everything is absolutely free. And how can we get to that type of world? Well, the main thing is because they have replicators who can replicate food. They have robots and androids that do all the manual labor, like planting the crops, getting the weeds out of the crops. You can do it if you want to. You know what I'm saying? It's not illegal, but it could create the, you know, the means on of the manual labor of how to plant the seeds and uh, to give the right nutrients and everything like that. So um, there's no cost for stuff like that, and it'd be easier to make houses and stuff like that. There's still a debate on whether, you know, how does property work. You know, if you say this is my home, you know, how could you own it without property? But there's discussions like that. We can have that. I love these type of discussions. So yeah. And I guess the point I was going to ask Lamar, let me see. I hate he got out of this because we was just getting good. Where's the about the biology? It's not this. I think I had okay. Anyway, biological beings. Now, what if there is a planet where what is the name of it? The silicon. You know what I'm saying? Like the being has evolved and is totally made of silicon. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it will work, but we know very little about how this universe. We know a lot, but there's still a lot that we need to learn about this universe, and it could be to the point to where there's a planet out there to where, um, you know, silicon-based beings have evolved instead of biological beings. You know, what we would consider biological beings. So, would they be considered alive? Would they be considered conscious? I mean, the mere discussion of things like conscious, intelligence, all of these things are just fascinating to me, you know, and it's been debated on left and right, back and forth. Things of ethics and morality. This combines all of that. Um, yeah, but if you can ever watch that Star Trek: The Next Generation episode, Measure of a Man, it's just fascinating, fascinating. Like I said, the whole premise of the show was Lieutenant Data is an android that was created by Dr. Soong, and he's been through the Starfleet Academy for like 4 years, and he became a bridge officer, and he's been in battles with the other people. And all of a sudden, this officer came in and says, look, we need to take you apart. We need to make a whole bunch of you. We need to reverse engineer you. But basically, we need to disassemble you part by part. And he was like, no, I don't want to do that. And he was like, well, you're Starfleet property. You're not a biological being. So a whole court case was brought up about, you know, is he actually property, or is he his own little being that can make his own decisions? And so there was a lot brought up on that. My data says that he has friends, he has people he's fond of, he has things that he likes to do. And then they try to bring up the fact that, oh, he doesn't breathe and he doesn't eat, and does he have emotions? And he was like, I got friends. It's an interesting thing. So watch it. It's called Measure of a Man. That's the name of the episode. Yeah, absolutely a wonderful subject to talk about. Let's see. Yeah, even the debate about, is a virus intelligent? Is a virus, and of course, it's biological. I mean, it has DNA and, it has movement. Or what are the characteristics of a living being? What would you consider the characteristics of a living being to be? Of course, we can look it up and see with the scientific community, but every now and then, the definitions change. So, what do you personally consider a living being or conscious being? You know what I'm saying? So, I want to get into some more deep philosophical discussions. I don't know if you guys have heard. Let me write it out here. I think I spelled that right. Let's see. Where is it? Hard solipsism. I like to get into more discussions and stuff like that. It's the discussion of it's people who basically believe that they're the only person that exists, and everybody else is like images in their own world. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like it's not the Matrix, but basically, you're the only person. Like I said, you're the only person that exists, and everybody else is like characters in your dreams, like NPCs, as the kids call it in video games and stuff like that. So, yeah. Well, the idea of, maybe there's not, a lot of people are convinced that there is a creator or a deity that exists. Well, there's other possibilities. If you guys have heard of the brain in the vat theory, which came way before the Matrix, and the Matrix was based on this philosophy that basically way in the future, AI has gotten to the point to where they could take a human brain and put it in a vat of nutrient-rich fluids, hook electrodes to it, and feed it images. You know what I'm saying? How do we know that we're not brains in a vat experiencing stuff? And people be like, well, can't you just open your eyes and look and see you're in the vat? No, you don't have eyes. You're just a brain. Well, you can jump out. No, you can't jump out of the vat. You can't knock against the glass and do like that, because this is just when we do our heads like that or move our arms, these are just sensory things that we're perceiving that we're doing by the electrodes that are connected to our brain in this vat. So how do we know that that's not the reality of what we are experiencing right now? You know what I'm saying? And every time we experience, something that seems a little weird, maybe it's because we're creating that in our own brain. You know what I'm saying? So philosophical discussions like this is what I would love to get into. Infinite regression. We can talk about that. This is some stuff that will fry your brain. They'll have you sitting up at night, be like, huh? Well, I got the answer to this. It's one of those things you're like, I know the answer to this, and I can solve this right now. But once you're challenged and see the people who have debated on it and challenged it and see their responses of it, and you're like, I didn't think of it that way. And they would just keep your mind up at night. You know what I'm saying? But it's a great thing to challenge your brain, Then again, of course, I love taking a break from all that intellectual stuff and just talking about nostalgic stuff from the 80s and 90s like I usually do. It's always fun. Well, anything you guys want to talk about? I try my best to stay away from politics. It just, no. I mean, we could talk about stuff that's going on in the world, such as the ports closing down and I heard Amazon was closing down as well. We could talk about conspiracy theories, which ones, new ones have come up. Which ones do you believe is true or not true? If you guys want to debate on whether you think the earth is flat or round, we can talk about that. I mean, it's just so much. Just trying to think of some stuff that we can think outside of the box. But anyway, I think that's about it. I'm going to, since nobody else is on here, if you guys want to join, click the link in the discussion. But other than that, I may end this a little earlier. But the Flavor in Your podcast, it will be tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 Pacific. 10 Central Time, okay? I still have my book out, Planet Football and Heretic Kitten, Blackjack and the Beanstalk. It is available on Amazon. That's that Sunday night fun, but I do play video games. If you guys still want to, as I play the video games, you give me like tips and stuff on how to beat the games I have not done since I was little. Also, we are going to do a watch party of Coming to America, a watch party. So I'm going to just go ahead and stream it, and you guys can just join in whenever you want to. The link will be in the description, so I don't have to choreograph all this. I might do it tomorrow night, if I'm not doing anything else. Let me see what else. The name of this podcast, of course, is the KILLAKRANE Speaks On. My YouTube page is KILLAKRANE Productions, KILLAKRANE Productions. KILLAKRANEProductions@gmail.com is my email address. Email me anytime. I have a YouTube page. It's called Vinaris, VINARIS, KILLAKRANE Productions. So you guys can message me on there. If you have any ideas for any projects or anything, let me know. Girl Lovatia, the Lovatia Experience. She's on YouTube. Barrington Marshall's Productions. I want you to check out his movie Abiding that's on Tubi. Check out Everest Productions on YouTube. The Judge Weezer. Another individual, David, who's on the podcast. I really appreciate him being on. He wanted me to constantly shoot that out. I guess I deleted it. My daughter is doing graphic design. You can look at the past episodes. I'm going to get the name of the graphic design company that she does. And she's going to, if she was here, she'd probably join in the discussion about AI and, versus doing actual graphic designers. There's an advantage to both, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times with AI and doing graphic design, you have to constantly tell it, no, don't do it like this and add this. And, but, it takes a while for it. Well, one could make the argument that with graphic designers, you have to do the same thing. But there's a certain charm to having a human do it. Some copyright issues too. So if you say, hey, I want a human mouse, the AI might generate you something of a mouse that is owned. Let's just say it's a cartoon movie that was made 30 years ago. It wasn't Mickey Mouse or anything like that. But it could be just something. And they create that mouse. And later on, you'll get sued for copyright infringement because of something AI made. You know what I'm saying? But if it's an actual human that makes it, 99.9% of the time, they're going to create something original. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be very careful of that. Anyway, excuse me. Yeah, I'm finna get off here since nobody else is on here. I really appreciate Lamar Hicks the L Dog himself, I really appreciate you being on the podcast tonight. I appreciate those who are watching right now. I appreciate those who are watching on YouTube. Like I said, if you want to be on YouTube, KILLAKRANE Productions is the name of KILLAKRANE Productions. And that is about it. All right, guys. Oh shit. Excuse my language. I deleted something here. But all right, guys, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Y'all watching and everything. And you guys take care. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, KILLAKRANE Speaks On. If you have a subject that you want me to talk about, let me know. All right, take care, guys.